Good evening, everyone. This is the January 23rd, 2025 meeting of the Needham Conservation Commission. I'm Dave Hara, the Conservation Commission Chair. As a reminder, this meeting is being broadcast to the town's YouTube channel and via Zoom, and it's also being recorded for publication, later viewing, and administrative purposes. Before we get started, I'm going to confirm the presence of the members and staff. When I call your name, please respond. Sue,
Here.
Larry, don't see her. Reed,
Here.
Bill,
Here.
Fred,
Here.
Paulina. Let's see, Paulina just popped up. And the chair, and Deb and Clay are here. So let's get started. The first item on the agenda is the minutes. We have minutes from our last meeting, January 9th, 2025. And in addition, we have minutes from September 12th, 2024 and September 26th, 2024.
So, okay. Yeah, I have a few that I need you to vote on. Do you want to hold off on the minutes till the end?
Were they circulated?
So Elisa's been going through the minutes, and so we have three from 2022 that Sue had already put the edits in but haven't been voted on.
Okay.
11, 14, 24, we have some, and we have some from January 9th of this year.
All right, we can do that at the end.
Do you want to say your opening spiel?
I just did. I've abbreviated it.
Oh, did you say it?
Yeah.
How did I miss it? That's very strange.
Because I abbreviated it.
Okay. Okay.
Because I've been listening to other town meetings and nobody goes through all that stuff. Okay.
Alrighty.
So do we have any enforcement or violation updates?
No, I met at 80 Gary Road today I met with DEP out there and the homeowners for their pre-construction meeting. So they're going to get going on that project. And I also had the pre-construction next door for 74 Gary. So both those projects are underway.
Okay, good. All right, so then let's open the hearing for 35 Meadowbrook Road, DEP file 234-942. It's a notice of intent. And Susan, are you representing the applicant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead if you want to
Okay,
make a brief presentation.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Susan MacArthur with the MacArthur Environmental Consulting. Also in attendance are the homeowners / applicants, Brian Reynolds and Michelle Mandino. May I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. So the house is located at 35 Meadowbrook Road. The lot is approximately 23,625 square feet. It contains a 2-story, you can see in gray beneath the dark gray, grayed out is the footprint of the existing house. So it includes a 2-car garage, excuse me, a back deck, paved driveway, planting beds and lawn, as well as a built-in swimming pool. And you notice on the south side of the lot, bordering the edge of the lot, is Rosemary Brook. It flows in a westerly direction, comes from a culvert from under Meadowbrook Road. And it is lined, it's like a 10-foot wide channel lined with concrete and stone. so fully channelized. And the bank of the brook was delineated back in February of 2023. And there's no bordering vegetated wetland on the property. But the entire lot does lie within the 200-foot riverfront area to Rosemary Brook. And also you can see 25-foot buffer zone, 50-foot buffer, and the 100-foot buffer. So the proposed project consists of tearing down the existing house and constructing a new house within the same footprint, only enlarged. The new house will have a full foundation. It will be located a little further away from the river than what exists today. And due to the configuration of the lot and the location of the brook, portions of the new house will be located within the 50-foot buffer. However, no work is proposed within the 25-foot buffer zone. And the new house will be approximately 3,259 square feet in size. Prior to any ground disturbance, we're proposing to install erosion and sediment control. It says EC, if you can see it real, it's kind of tiny, but erosion control barrier along the whole perimeter, excluding the pool, up to the front and around. So as far as the regulatory compliance for riverfront area on the property, this is considered a redevelopment project. The proposed project will not occur any closer to the river than what exists today. Areas of the house that lie outside of the footprint of the existing house, I should say the proposed house that lies outside of the existing footprint of the house, will be within either lawn or areas covered by the deck. So disturbed areas, in other words. Also, the areas of the newly degraded proposed equate to less than 10% of the riverfront area on the lot. It comes out to 7.9%. So to mitigate for the proposed work within riverfront area, a 2,042 square foot mitigation area is proposed within the 25-foot buffer zone along the side here. And that is proposed to be planted with like a wildflower seed mix. And also, it'll be a no-mow area, naturalized no-mow area. And we're proposing placards along the boundary to signify that. And, it might be mowed maybe like once a year at the end of the growing season, just to keep down woody vegetation, I should say, from getting in, growing in this area. For stormwater, we do recognize that the local bylaw drainage calculations are required for tear down houses. And we are proposing to install a dry well at the back of the house, in the backyard. The proposed roof is 3,259 square feet, and for a 1-inch storm event, that comes out to 271.6 cubic feet. This is going to be a proposed Cultex system, and it is capable of holding a capacity of 79.26 cubic feet. So in order to meet the demands of the roof, 4 units are proposed in this area. Let's see, what else? During construction, the access to the back of the house will be opposite from the brook. So it'll be on this side of the house. And any stockpiling is going to be proposed here, kind of closer toward the pool. And any the erosion and sediment control barrier should prevent any sedimentation from reaching the river. So I think that covers everything. And if I zoom out, those drainage calcs are on the plan with the dry well system. And let's get the calculations here. I think that's it. So does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, thanks, Susan. Let me ask the commissioners, if they have any questions. Sue?
Yeah, with the dry well, is it one dry well?
One will only hold a quarter of what is required to meet the demands of the size of the roof. So we're proposing 4. It might look like there's only 2 in the, in the back here, but this is like a chamber system. There's going to be 4.
Okay, and does it just contain the roof? Or what about the other impermeable areas?
It'll be the roof, just the roof of the new house. Yeah.
Okay, and no trees down.
No trees are proposed to be removed. No.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bill, any comments? Questions? Oh, you're on mute.
Thanks. There's this dash line through the 25-foot zone. I'm just curious what that is.
Yeah, that's a proposed fence that we're gonna discuss at some point.
Okay. There's also a 4-foot vinyl fence. That's part of the containment.
Yeah, DEP asked that we have them put it on the outside of the mitigation area.
Okay, great.
So that's an artifact of past plan. Is that correct?
Sorry?
That the dash line that Bill had questioned, that's an artifact of a previous design?
No, I don't think so. I think that's the proposed fence.
Is that the easement? Is that what we're talking about?
I'm not sure where he's
Right down the middle of the 25-foot buffer zone.
Yeah, it's a 40, it looks like a 40-foot easement.
Okay.
yeah, it is. There's the 40-foot wide easement and drainage area. So I think it's this,
Yeah, it's a town easement, I guess.
yeah, to maintain the brook. Yeah.
All right, anything else, Bill?
Nope. Thanks.
Fred?
No comments.
Reed?
Yeah, no. I just see on Google Maps there's 2 trees right in the front of the house, right? Those are still there, I imagine, right? There's no plan to take those down, just to confirm that.
There are no plans. Brian, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, no, we have no plans to take down any trees.
Okay, yeah, it just sort of seems like those are, maybe close to where the proposed driveway is. I just want to make sure that,
Nope, they're far enough away. That
Okay.
one night there and left. Yep.
All right, great, thank you.
Paulina, any questions?
Nope, no questions.
Okay, I only have one question. I looked at your drainage calculations and, 4 units seem appropriate, but your write-up says 2 units. So I just,
Oh, in my narrative, you mean?
yeah.
Oh, I apologize. Maybe
That's
I,
okay. But
but it does say 4 required on the plan.
yeah. I think that's more than enough.
Okay.
Okay. I forgot to ask if you. had
Yes,
any-
I have a few things. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I meant to ask, I usually ask.
So
you
I'm
first.
confused about the calculations.
For the
So
riverfront.
you're already over the 10%, right? And so the additional impervious should be a 2-to-1 mitigation.
Yeah.
So on the plan, it's broken out into 3 sections. So it has, the pre-existing impervious, the proposed impervious, and the proposed increase in impervious coverage. So in the forms for DEP, it's like 5,000 something increase in impervious on the site.
You want me to just go through? I thought this might come up, so I wrote it up. So we're proposing to create 5,736 square feet of new impervious on the lot, surface on the lot. Okay. The difference between the existing and the proposed. So in other words, the existing is 4,011, excuse me. So the
Yeah.
difference between 5,736 minus 4,011 comes out to 1,725. So 1,725 square feet is the difference between the existing impervious versus the proposed impervious. So anything over 10% of the existing build out on the lot should be mitigated at 2-to-1, right? So
Yeah, so it was already over 10%.
it was already over 10%, right? So I took so it was, the total degraded on the lot is 17.9%. So it's 7.9% over the 10%, right? So I took the 4,011 square feet times the 7.9% and came out with 316.87 square feet. Add that to the 1,725, which is just a 1-to-1, and it comes out to about 2,041.87, 2,042 square feet, and that's how I came up with the mitigation area.
So it should be whatever the increase, so it was like 1,700 and something increase in impervious, right?
Would be a
So
one.
the mitigation should be twice that.
Well, I thought it was only the amount that is above the 10%.
It
'Cause
started out
because-
already as, it's already over 10% before you even do any work. So you're increasing it by that amount. So that should be 2-to-1.
Oh, right.
Well, it is all right, so anything over the 10% should be mitigated at 2-to-1. But less than 10% should be 1-to-1.
But there's already 10% on the lot.
Sorry,
So
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought the original plot plan that we had done back in February 23, I believe it was 7.3% coverage. That's what was originally done by our surveyor. I'm not sure if that's accurate or you might have some different information than we have.
well, so the lot's what, 22,000 something?
23,625 square feet. The
Okay,
entire lot lies within riverfront area.
sorry, the whole lot.
The whole
Yeah.
lot is within
Right.
riverfront.
So
Approximately,
you have for your pre-existing impervious coverage, in the inner
4,000
riparian zone, you have 2,773 square feet, and the outer riparian, 1,238 square feet.
should come out
So,
4,011, right?
so that is 17.9% impervious coverage pre-existing.
Right,
So that's well over the 10%.
right, but I thought that it's 1-to-1 up to 10%, and anything over 10% is 2-to-1. And that's how I calculated it.
Yeah. Is Clay here? Where is Clay?
I'm here.
Clay, do you know this stuff better than?
I'm just asking for another voice of
I
reason.
actually called Clay on this because I was uncertain about the calculations. So
You
it's,
called Clay
I did call
in
Clay.
West Newbury?
No, when he was still, this has been around for a while, so,
Oh, I see.
yeah. So,
So
because it's
you're already starting
confusing.
out over 10%. So anything that you're
Yeah.
adding for impervious, because you're already over 10%, is 2 to 1.
Above 10%.
I believe that's correct. I believe the first 10% is essentially by right.
Right, and it's already over 10%. It started out over 10%.
I think depending on when, so was the lot, was this lot was subdivided pre 1996?
Brian, your house is older than 1996.
1947, yeah. Yeah.
So I think when that's the case, it is the additional over 10%, but you might get the amount essentially that was there at 1996. So if it was, 17, if it was, I don't know, just hypothetically, so let's say it was 12% coverage when the act was, when the River Protection
Well,
Act.
it was 17% coverage.
Let's just assume that that it hasn't changed since 1940s.
I
It's-
believe in that case, it would be the difference. It's already 10%. There's no leeway for additional, but from what you're adding compared to what's there now, I believe that would be 2 to 1.
Right, which is what I said.
No, I don't think you said that. I think it's what you're adding. So Clay just said it's what you're adding above and over, correct?
Right, which is 1,720 something square feet. Right?
1725, right, correct.
So that should be 2 to 1. Right?
Yes, I believe that's the case.
Okay.
Right, so that's 3,450.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for degraded versus disturbed, the impervious surfaces lacking topsoil, etc.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1 to 1 if the disturbances are if it's disturbance versus degraded.
Yeah.
Or if you were subtracting somewhere else, but again, we're talking net changes here, so I believe. Sorry, I caught a little off guard. I was not prepared, but I
I'm
believe that
sorry.
is the
You're
case.
usually on top of these things too, so I was like. Hmm.
All right, so it should be, you're saying it's too small. So right now we have it proposed at 2,042 square feet, and you're saying it should be
3,450.
3,450. Okay. Brian, do you have anything?
I guess no. I mean, you guys know it more than I do, so.
I mean, we can increase, if you want to do along the back or,
Yeah, we can. I'll just we can discuss that whatever offline, I guess. What we need.
okay.
All right. Anything else, Deb?
No, just DEP asked them to relocate the fence to the outside of the mitigation area.
Okay. So, Clay, is there anybody in the audience that has their hand up?
There are no raised hands.
Okay. So can I have a motion to continue this hearing to our next meeting, which is February 13th, 2025?
So
Motion.
moved.
Second.
Okay, let's vote. Fred,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Paulina,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
who did I forget? Fred. And the chair votes aye. Did I forget anybody? I'm looking at this list and it keeps moving. All right, so I think
So if you
Um,
can get us revised plans, so there's 3 weeks between meetings. So if you can just get us revised plans a week before, we should be good.
Okay, but that's the only thing though, right? Is just the mitigation area?
Yep, and the fence, as far
And
as I know.
Oh, one quick question on the fence, because the fence already is up against the river. It's like the reason why we put in a 4-foot vinyl fence was just because it's right now it's just kind of like a farm fence with a little like wire. So that would need to be taken down.
Not if it's existing, but
Okay.
you're stopping mowing and you're putting in the native seed mix
Yeah.
as kind of mitigation for doing this work.
Mhm.
So DEP would rather, if you're proposing putting in new fencing, that it's on the other side of the area that's going to be protected.
I see. Okay.
So, yeah.
So we could just not do, like, we could take that out if we wanted to, is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was more just just because it's like, for our kids, like, we just wanted to put it like
Yeah.
right up against as opposed to like,
Understandable.
yeah, so in that case, it doesn't really do the purpose that we were looking for it to do, so we could just remove it.
We'll
then
probably
from
just leave
plan.
the old one.
Yeah,
Yep.
leave it as is then.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is 0 Cheney Street, 0 Railroad Street, DEP file 234-943. This is project Town of Needham. And we have Justin. Are you going to brief us on this?
I can take care of it, Justin, if you want.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Yes,
All right.
I'm here with Environmental Partners with Ben Manigan, and he's going to run us through the project.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Ben Mangan, like Justin said. I'm a project manager with Environmental Partners. I'm also here with Drew Gallant. He's an engineer helping me out with the project as well. So Drew, are you on to be able to share your screen?
Do I have access to share it?
While Drew's working on that, just a little bit of a background on the project. We've been working with the town for a few years here to improve a large diameter sewer interceptor in town that collects about 1/3 of the town's sewage. And it runs about 13,000 linear feet. It runs from Kendrick Street down along I-95 through Valley Road, and then discharges on the other side of the Sudbury River over by the Herring Trail. We did an evaluation a few years ago, and this is all just a background, but we did an evaluation a few years ago and concluded that a large portion of the sewer is under capacity and is in poor condition and needs to be either replaced or rehabilitated. We broke it up into 2 phases. The first phase was a rehabilitation project that is actually wrapping up as we speak, almost completed. We're here to talk about phase 2 of the work, which includes replacement of about the total project is about 2,300 linear feet of 21-inch or 18-inch to 24-inch sewer pipe. So the project, if you want to zoom into this map here, Drew. So this dot here is right at the end of Valley Road, where the MBTA crossing is. This is the area that we're going to be discussing, where we're replacing the sewer near a resource area. if you want to kind of go to the next page, kind of shows it in a little bit more detail here. Again, this is the project area that we're talking about here, right at the end of the Valley Road cul-de-sac. And on this sheet here is a plan sheet that shows the work that we're going to be doing in and around the resource area. So you can see we're going to be replacing a existing sewer pipe with a new sewer pipe. Part of it is going to be in the same location as the existing sewer, and the section of sewer pipe that's going to be crossing the MBTA railroad track, which the MBTA tracks are heading page north, page south in the plan. We'll be installing the sewer in that area through a trenchless installation method. It's pipe jacking. So on either side of the MBTA right-of-way, we have these boxes here that represent pits that are going to be needed for jacking the pipe underneath the railroad. The pipe jacking is going to consist of a 42-inch steel casing. Once that's through, we'll be installing our sewer in that casing pipe. The work really will be limited to new sewer manholes, the pits themselves, and then removing of existing infrastructure. So removing of the existing sewer pipes, existing sewer manholes, etc. So that's a background of the project itself. I'm going to hand it over to Drew to discuss some of the resource area impacts a little bit more detailed.
Sure. Thank you, Ben. I think that covers everything for the project. And then for the wetland resource areas, LEC Environmental went out and delineated the bordering vegetated wetlands, the bank associated with the intermittent streams, and the buffer zones of the BVW. The intermittent stream is shown with the dashed lines here, either side of the bank, and then the wetland area with the WL delineation. Due to these delineations, the work is obviously subject to the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Regulations and the Needham General Wetlands Protection Bylaw. Therefore, we are before you guys for the Conservation Commission. The impacts for this project is primarily right in here for the jacking pit. We have 45 linear feet of bank disturbed and 310 square feet of BVW in this area disturbed. Both of these disturbances are necessary to construct cofferdams for this jacking pit to install the sewer beneath the MBTA railroad. These disturbed areas will be restored to pre-construction conditions upon completion. We have some environmental protection measures for this project. We have a filter sock on the site perimeter on the down gradient side that's shown with this dashed line. We have dewatering operations in the jacking pit and the receiving pit. We'll have cofferdams set up to construct those and then dewatering to maintain the groundwater below the excavation. We also have stream bypass operations to maintain the functionality of the intermittent stream. This includes temporary sandbag dams on the up gradient side up here, and then on the down gradient side. And there will be a pump system that brings the water around and continues the stream functionality. There's no impervious area increase as part of this project, which is a big win. And therefore, for our stormwater management report, it's a very brief report just to show that there's no increase in runoff or impervious area as part of this project. And that is really it. I'll open it up to questions unless Ben has more information.
No, I think that covered it. Thanks, Drew.
Okay, thank you. First, let's see if Deb has any comments.
No, I don't. I'm good.
Okay. So, how about Sue?
No comment.
No? Bill?
I'm not sure if it matters much, but I believe the date of the hearing was listed as January 9th on the letters that went out to the abutters.
Yeah, that was because the advertising didn't go in as it was
Okay.
supposed to. So it's not their fault. So the notification did go out, which was fine.
Is there a time set up to do this? Is it gonna be in the spring, summer, fall?
We're still putting together the complete design at this point. I would see this being likely in the summer condition, ideally lower groundwater condition season. It really will be dependent on, you know, when it's bid, when the contractor's ready to mobilize. So we don't have an exact date at this point.
I think I heard they were planning on putting it out to bid in the summer.
That's correct. Yeah. Bidding in the summer would be ideal, and then you know, give the contractor time to get all their materials, get all their planning together. So long story short, we do not have an exact date for the project, but once we have more information, we can update the commission.
Is there any wildlife issues, migrations or anything like that?
Nope.
No, there's no endangered species. We went through the NHESP reports.
All right, thanks.
Okay, Fred, any questions?
No, none.
Paulina,
No questions.
Reed?
Yeah, nothing for me. Thanks.
Okay, I really don't have any questions. Looks like a straightforward project.
I don't have a draft yet. I'll have it for the next meeting, so you'll have to
Okay, so
continue.
we'll have to continue this. Clay, is there anybody in the audience that has their hand raised?
There are no hands raised.
Okay, so could I have a motion to continue this hearing for 0G Street, 0 Railroad Street, DEP file 234-943 to February 13th, 2025?
So moved.
Second,
Okay, let's vote. Bill,
aye.
Fred,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
Paulina,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you for everyone's time. Have a good night.
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you very
all.
much.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item is 18 Brookside Road, DEP file 234-844. This is a request for a certificate of compliance. And we have John.
Correct.
Do you want to brief us on this?
For those of you who don't know, 18 Brookside Road, as you're heading towards Wellesley, is actually the last house in Needham. Was a tear down. The abutter, Gordon Russell, who lives at 62 Brookside Road in Wellesley, bought the house and actually previously had bought 12 Brookside Road, and 12 Brookside Road was taken down and, you know, is not going to be reconstructed. 18 was taken down, reconstructed. There was a filing. There's wetlands at the rear that abut the Wellesley water supply land. And all of the work's been done. We were out there in early November to do our as-built survey. They had just loamed and seeded the lawn, all of the plantings. There were a number of plantings that were required to be done on the site. Those have all been done. And I went back around Thanksgiving time or so. I didn't write down the date. I'm sorry about that, but the grass had started to sprout. I just, believe it or not, looked at it again today under the snow, and there is grass under there, so it is stabilized in my opinion. The compost sock is still up, however, we're not taking that down until the board tells us it's okay. And so we're asking for a certificate of compliance. Deb did remind me, I did see it in the order of conditions that for these plantings, and there are numerous plantings, if you went out there, that there's a monitoring period for the 2 years from the date of planting, I guess. So we're have not passed that as of now. But you know, Deb and I had a quick conversation with it. I'm sure that Gordon Russell would accept and be very happy, even if it was a partial certificate of compliance and without a full certificate of compliance until that monitoring is done. I would recommend, and I think Deb would recommend, that John Rockwood, who did the environmental work for Gordon Russell, do the monitoring. I'm not the person to do that, believe me. They all just look like Christmas trees to me. So I'm not the guy, but John Rockwood could certainly do that work.
Right. All right. Deb, do you have any comments?
Yeah, so there weren't any deviations. The site is stable. I did receive notification that the plantings did go in the week of October 14th last year. So, we'll have 2 summers that, we'll need monitoring reports at the end of those next year and the year after. So I do believe a partial can be issued at this time, and we'll hold off on the complete till after the monitoring.
Okay. Any of the commissioners have a comment or question? No? Okay, so could I have a motion to issue a partial certificate of compliance for 18 Brookside Road, DEP file 234-844?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, let's vote. Sue,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Fred? Fred?
Yes.
Paulina?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Okay,
Thank you very much.
okay.
Thank you.
Now,
Should we, when I issue it, should we send it to who to record?
I think you should send it to me if you can, Deb.
Okay.
Or just give me a call and I can swing by and pick it
Okay,
up.
I'll do that.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Night,
thanks.
everyone.
Good night.
Night.
Night, everybody.
Take care.
Night.
All right, so the last item on the agenda is the Needham Wetlands Protection Regulations. These were sent to the town council several weeks ago. I can't remember exactly when, but basically reviewed them and came back with some minor comments, and we've incorporated those comments. And I think if it hasn't been done now, it'll be done shortly. We're going to post the new regulations on our website for public comment.
Right, if Elisa didn't do it yet today, I'll have her do it in the morning.
Yeah. It looks pretty good. They extra bonus, the town council formatted the regulations, which had some formatting errors and all that. So, and also I did prepare like a summary of the changes, which I think Bill had asked for. And that's like the very last page of the regulations that will be posted. So
That will be
get
helpful.
a chance, take a final look at them. I hope that there's no, major issues or changes, but, we do want to get them to everybody's satisfaction.
Yeah, so we should be able to vote on them at the next meeting.
Yeah. So any questions? Good. Um, I guess we want to do the minutes now.
But actually,
Yeah,
Dave, sorry, just
Okay.
really quick on that. I guess there were some things in there that, you know, I know we had sort of bracketed and sort of left us open for discussion. I'm not sure how we want to address those.
Deb and I had a little conversation the other day about those, and we kind of just left them, you know, with the numbers that were there. So, I forget the exact items, but
yeah, you
Yeah.
took that, you took it with you.
yeah, I don't think any of it was that significant, but
Yeah, it's okay. That's fine. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that that didn't get dropped.
yeah, no, we resolved that, and you know, one thing that Deb had suggested that we call it guidelines policies, so I changed the wording so that you know, the four guidelines that are for what some we call some we call guidelines, some we call policies, but they're all meant to mean, you know, part of the regulations, and
Yeah,
so
it sounded a little meatier, being
Yeah.
policies instead of guidelines, I think so.
yeah.
Where are you gonna post it?
I'm sorry.
So
Where-
on
where-
our website where we have information for the meetings,
Okay.
where Elisa posts all the new materials, I'm going to
Okay.
have her post them in those for the next meeting. And we'll put something on our website proper that says that we're gonna be voting on the regulations for the, you know, if the public has any comment, to get them to us now.
Hmm.
Okay. All right, so let's go to the minutes. I had 3 sets of minutes, but Deb, you said there were a couple others that kind of fell through the cracks the past couple meetings, so
Yes. Do you want me to list them? Or
I
do you-
think we just need to speak them out so they get in the minutes.
Mhm.
In the record, and then we can vote unless anybody has any comments, and we can vote on them as a group.
Mhm.
I know for the, it was either for the 5th or the 12th, there were 8 sets of minutes that I went through
Mhm.
before either, but it wasn't, they hadn't all been, I noticed they hadn't all been approved or voted on at the meeting.
Mhm.
But so some were missing in with one set of minutes, either the 12th, December 12th or the 5th, I can't remember.
Okay, so I think looking at my notes, you noted on the 12th that we voted for the meetings from the 5th.
Oh, then go back to the minutes of the 5th. That's what it was. Go back to the,
Okay.
to the minutes.
Of January?
No, the
No,
5th.
December. Or
And
are you talking about,
there should
December?
be 8.
should be 8
there's-
total?
Yes, there should be 8 total, but I think not all of them got in there.
Okay. So I have on the 19th, on December 19th, we approved the minutes of December 5th.
Okay, and then December 5th was the one that approved a lot, but not the whole 8. I mean, I can
So
give you,
that was, so Elisa, when she went through the list, so she had the November 14th meeting needed to be voted on. So that would be the one before the 5th,
right,
okay?
right.
So she also had January 9th of this year, our last meeting.
Right.
And then she had February 10th of 22, March 10th of 22, April 7th of 22. So Elisa had down those 5.
Okay.
So
All of them
Were
and
these,
sent
were
back.
these circulated?
I
so they
went-
were, yes.
yes, they were.
Circulated.
And
But-
Sue gave edits to all of them and they were incorporated by Kristen.
Yeah, only because I don't know how many people know this, but Janet wanted me to be the minutes reader. So it's way back. So I just go, when I see the minutes, I'll just read them, so.
Yeah,
Um,
Yep.
that's
yeah.
great.
And then we forward her comments to Kristen and she incorporates them and then we vote on them.
Okay, so why don't you rattle off the list of minutes that we are going to approve?
Okay. So minutes of February 10th, 2022, March 10th, 2022, April 7th, 2022, November 14th of 2024, and January 9th of 2025.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes that Deb just read off.
Do we have plus, the September 12th and 26th of 24?
There's a motion on the table here.
All right, just vote on his motion.
Yeah,
Second,
all right, let's vote. Sue,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Bill,
aye.
Fred,
Aye.
Helena,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye.
Okay, which two were you questioning, Sue?
Then the September 12th and the 26th came along with the
And
most recent.
26. All right,
with-
I will check and see if those were ever voted on.
Yeah, they weren't, because they just came, those are the last ones that were circulated.
Okay,
Yeah.
did you give us back any comments?
Yeah.
It was 9/12, and did you 9/12/24 and 9/26/24?
Yes,
Didn't you didn't list those, Deb, when you,
I didn't have those listed.
okay, so let's have another motion. I'll make another motion to accept the minutes of 9/12/24 and 9/26/24.
Second,
Okay, let's vote. Sue,
aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Bill,
aye.
Fred,
Aye.
Helena,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Okay.
How many more minutes are left, Deb?
We're finishing up. So essentially during COVID, Clay had been doing the minutes, but then he took on a lot more
Yeah.
responsibilities. So, we were a couple years behind on the minutes.
Right,
So hiring Kristen, she's catching up on them slowly.
she does a
So-
great,
She
Yeah.
does. And Elisa just made like a table showing what was remaining. So it doesn't look like we're too bad off.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, she's doing a great job.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, that concludes our agenda. Anybody have anything they want to bring up to the commission?
So Elisa did, I think Fred and Paulina both signed up for MACC.
That's right.
So Elisa took care of that today for you, so you should be good.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Anything else? I see
Mm,
Mike's playing his guitar there. Maybe you can give
yeah,
us-
no, we continued everything.
give us
So
a
we're
little closing music here.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
I
All
don't think
right.
it'll come over Zoom anyway.
Right, if there's nothing else, then can I have a motion to close the meeting?
Motion to close.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Say
Aye.
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 All right, well, thank you.
thank you. You got 3 weeks off.
Yeah, to read.
Good to
All
see
right.
you.
Thank you.
Stay warm, everybody.
Yeah.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Clay.
Thanks, Clyde.